Greetings, everyone. My name is Ryder, and this isn't a prophetic word. I know I haven't been on posting anything for the past couple of months, but I just wanted to come on, for the first time in 2 months and just give a quick life update and talk about what's been going on my end of things. Um, and I know that God has given me a word to share, but I wanted to start with the update so I have a little more time to pray over the thing that God showed me in a vision the other day. But with all that being said, I just want to get right into this. Um, so, I do want to apologize for just kind of leaving, posting online, unexpectedly and not saying anything and being gone for 2 months. I was just kind of dealing with a lot of stuff. I feel like March and April there was a lot going on, but not in a bad way necessarily. So I guess the first update was that, I had been going to a different church, for about 2 months, instead of the one that I had been going to for years. And I didn't have the best experience there, so I'm going back to the church that I've been going to for years, and I feel a lot better about being there now. The thing was that the new church I was going to, it had a bit more of what I was looking for in a church, but the problem is with that church in particular, because of the particular subset of the denomination, and I won't name names, basically they would not let me become a member, because I'm a transgender man. And I remember I met with the leaders there about becoming a member, and I was excited, and I thought I was just meeting with the senior pastor, but the assistant pastor there was two, and but basically they just met me in this room in the basement, and it was just a lot of stuff, and it felt like they were just interrogating me about my gender identity and my past, and if I've had any surgeries, and about detransitioning, and I explained how I tried to taper off the hormones, and they're like, well, if you can't do that, can you at least dress like a woman? I'm like, no, I'm not doing all this. I was just I've been through enough. So they basically didn't want me to become a member, and after that, I went home. I didn't make a big fuss about it, I'm not gonna be disrespectful towards these church leaders, but I went home, and I was crying for many hours, and I cried over the weekend, and I prayed to God, and he had told me to go back to the church I was going to, so I was nervous about coming back, but I went, and everyone there was so kind to me, and they were like, well, we miss you, we've been worried about you, because of my health stuff, and then they hadn't heard from me for a while, and that wasn't my intention, um, to just leave and have people worry about me, but yeah, and I talked with the pastor there, and he was like, you are a member here, that hasn't been taken away from you, you're always welcome to come back as long as you want to be back. And he told me to take a week, pray about it. I prayed about it, and that was what God wanted me to do, so I'm like, well, I'm back, and he's like, well, we're glad to have you back. So yeah, since then, it's just been kind of back to normal. I'm going to the same church I've been to for 3 years. I think the struggle that I had was that I just didn't appreciate how kind and loving the people there were. I was looking for other things as well, people more practicing spiritual gifts and prophesying and stuff like that, but all the churches that I've found in my area that have a bit more of that, fiery, filled with spiritual, filled with the spirit, spiritual gifts type of stuff, all those churches in my area seem to be very conservative, the kind of people that wouldn't even want to shake my hand if they know that I'm trans. Um, so yeah. So it's yeah, that's great, but if they don't care about me and I'm gonna be kept at an arm's length and treated like I'm less than a second-class citizen, then I don't think it's the place for me. So yeah, they don't see me the way that God sees me, but my church family does. So yeah. So that was a development. I've been back there, like going every week for the past like couple of months now, and that's been going well. My health stuff has improved a lot. Like, I'm not having like as much tightness or pain, and I'm not having that burning sensation anymore in like my wrists or my shoulders or hips. Sometimes I still do feel like a bit of tightness in like my right hip, or, like a bit of tightness in like my back in the morning, but the back, like I've always had an on and off back issues, it comes, it goes. The stuff with the shoulders is a lot better. Sometimes I feel a bit of tension at the end of the day, but it's improving a lot. And the stuff with my wrists is a lot better too. Sometimes it kind of comes up that I feel like a bit of like tightness, or a bit of pain, but it's getting a lot better. I'm tapering off of the muscle relaxant that the doctor had prescribed to me for the past several months. So, now I'm down from taking it 3 times a day to 1 time a day, and I'm hoping that by the time I'm done with this bottle of the prescription that I'm not going to need to fill it anymore. So yeah, so there's been a bunch of things going on. I've also been, like when I haven't been working. Oh, that was the other thing. I forget if I mentioned, but I cut down on my hours at my job. I work 4 days a week now instead of 5. So I work Monday through Thursday. Thursday I work from home, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday I have off. And I feel like that's given me a better work-life balance. I can focus on my health, and I have more time to spend with God, and I have more time for hobbies, and I think I just feel a lot happier and a lot more relaxed, because working 5 days a week and going to church on Sunday, and then Saturday is my day to do nothing, and I would just sleep most of the day. Like, I never had time to do anything fun. Like, I couldn't go on a long walk. I couldn't, like, go to the park. I didn't have time to, like, go play, like, pinball or read some comic books or play a game, or, like, I didn't have time for anything, and I'm trying to find balance, so I'm, like, not spending as much time on hobbies, and I can spend more time focusing on God and focusing on my health and stuff. But I think that, just having a bit of a balance, I feel a lot more relaxed and a lot happier overall. I got to sign a renewal for the lease, like, at my place. So, me and one of the other guys are staying, and we'll find roommates for the other folks. So a lot of things have been going on. They've been working out really well. Another thing that's exciting is I'm going to be going to an anime convention, like Anime Boston, this year, and that's coming up in a couple of weeks. I think it's like 2 weeks away, and then it is from, I think, like, it's like the 23rd, 24th, and 25th of the month, which is really exciting. I have my costume, like, I have everything ready to go. I'm super excited for that, because I got the ticket, like, back in, like, February, so I've been waiting, like, months for this. And normally I haven't gone for years because it always falls on the week of Easter, but now that it's not on Easter, like, I can go, which is exciting, because I'm not going to miss stuff at church on Easter week for an anime convention as much as I want to go. So yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on. Also, when I haven't been working or resting or, doing my hobbies and stuff, I've also been doing some stuff in the background with a particular organization to get ready for work that God has called me to do. And I'll talk more about that in another video. But with all that being said, I guess one of the reasons I haven't been posting is just because when God's been speaking to me, like, he hasn't led me to really, like, share anything, like, online with, like, a large group of people for the past couple of months. I think he's really just been focused on me and my relationship with him and my own well-being and, health and, sanity and all of that. Like, I think he's just been working on me and focused on me. And when he showed me things in dreams and visions or spoken to me, like, it's either been specifically about me and the work that he's called me to do, or it's just been, like, a message for, like, like, an individual person here and there, for somebody in my life, a coworker, like someone at church, or, like, it's been something just for the church as a whole, that I go to. And, those are for specific people. Like, it doesn't make sense to post that online. But yeah, I know that God did show me something in a vision at church on Sunday, and I believe that this is something to share online. So, God willing, we'll be posting on here again, like, soon. But with all that being said, thank you for being patient with me and allowing me to rest and spend some time with God and recuperate. I'm excited to be back. And for now, take care, stay safe, have a wonderful rest of the day, and know that Jesus loves you, and I love you too. Bye-bye.